Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Sam. Hope all of you are doing swell today. I'm doing pretty swell. Thank you for asking me because no one asked me that. In all seriousness, I want to talk to you guys about iOS 14 today because I know what you're thinking. It's a little bit early. Is he even allowed to do this? I'm not exactly sure. Maybe the authorities will come and get me, but we already have some news about iOS 14, and I'm excited to share it with you today. So if you're looking forward to this video and iOS 14, drop a like down below, show me your excitement on that like button or dislike button, depending on how you feel, and hit subscribe so you stay up to date on all the latest Apple news. Let's go ahead and get started. So a lot can change between now and a year from now, but the source today is Bloomberg, Mark Gurman more specifically, who has an insane track record. 99.9% of every feature he reported for iOS 13 came true, so that's why I'm comfortable making this video with you today. All right, the first rumor Bloomberg has reported for iOS 14 is 5G support. Now, 5G support is coming on the iPhone in 2020, so of course, Apple wants to optimize iOS 14 for that as well. What we know about 5G right now is that there's been some preliminary research that it could be dangerous. I don't know a lot about the side effects of 5G. What I do know is that the promise of 5G is that it could be up to 100 times quicker than 4G. I'm not talking about AT&T's 5G e-icon where they claimed it was 5G, but it was literally just the same thing as AT&T customers had before. I'm talking about true 5G. It's going to be faster and more efficient. Obviously, Apple needs to support that, so that's going to be in iOS 14. Second thing you should know about iOS 14 is the code name. So iOS 13's code name was Yukon. Makes me think of exploring or nature or a lot of exciting things. iOS 14 was a weird one. Azul, A-Z-U-L. So that's the iOS 14 code name. Doesn't mean anything? No, but I always find it interesting that that leaks out as one of the first things every year that, the code name, what is it going to mean? I mean, I think it's going to be something significant in iOS 14. I'm going to talk about that last, but code name wise, no big change. And finally, the third thing that we know about iOS 14 is that there are going to be more AR features. So with AR support, we know Apple's working on some crazy AR glasses where it would literally augment your world in front of you. We know AR has been a focus for them, so honestly, this one doesn't surprise me, but I want to hear your thoughts about AR down below because every single year, AR has gotten better since iOS 11 when all the AR apps first came out to iOS 12, it got better. iOS 13, it got better. I just don't really use it day to day, which is why I'm still sort of why is this such a big focus for Apple? And I want to know if you feel the same way down below. Do you use the AR functionality on your iPhone or iPad or iPod Touch frequently? Or if at all, maybe you do. Maybe I'm the oddball out that doesn't, but I'm just sort of I don't see the full vision or the full plan for it yet. And I'm just all right, cool. More AR features is great in very specific contexts. Now for the exciting part. That is purely speculative. I want to put an emphasis on this right now. No one has reported this. There is no credibility behind this. This is just my personal opinion. But based on what I've been seeing, I've been doing this for a while, right? I've been on YouTube since 2013. That's a long time ago. I've been watching iOS since iPhone OS 1.0. You know when the biggest change to iOS ever happened? Of course, iOS 7. It was in 2013. It was sort of when everybody was iOS is getting a little bit stale. It's been out for 6.5 years, and it still looks almost identical when I'm talking about the visuals. So obviously there were new features every year, but iOS, the icons, the overall user interface didn't change. If you take a look at iOS 13, there are more and more hints, more than ever before, that iOS in the future is going to return to detail. Not only have a couple of analysts speculated this before, most notably the pencil tools in markup view whenever you take a screenshot. So on iPhone or iPad, I'm talking about this thing right here. We went from the flattest of the flat tools to incredibly detailed. And I did not see one single person say that that was a bad thing. In fact, I saw everybody really excited about the return to detail. It has been speculated. I have been looking forward to it because I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. The home screen still is the same. We thought and we heard it was going to change on the iPhone. So maybe in iOS 14, we finally get that home screen redesign that we were looking for on the iPhone that just didn't end up happening. And the iOS 13 home screen on the iPad was just minorly tweaked with widgets. I think that in iOS 14, we could see a significant redesign. I'm talking new icons, new interface, more detail across everywhere because iOS 14 is also going to ship with the big upgrade for the iPhone. And the number one reason I'm saying this is based off of what Apple has done historically. Now, my sample size is very small. My sample size here is 1. But in iOS 7, that was 7 generations or 7 upgrades into the iPhone. It was the 7th time that a version of iOS had been released. Over on iOS 13, that's plus 6 over iOS 7. One more is iOS 14. Couple that with the fact that bigger changes we're hearing are coming to next year's iPhone than this year. So you've got a big iPhone upgrade next year, could launch alongside brand new redesigned iOS software. And the fact that in iOS there is more detail than ever when compared to iOS 7. And maybe to prime us for the big update this year, Apple has included some tidbits. Again, before you guys start running around saying we've heard this, an unidentified source has said there's going to be redesign, I again do not have any concrete information here. And I want to make that clear. But based off of what Apple's done, if there would be a time for a big change in iOS, they did it 7 years ago, we're going on another 7-year update, it could be in iOS 14, and there's more evidence than ever to suggest that that is going to be the case. Also in iOS 13, we got a significant number of user interface upgrades. Maybe iOS 14 sort of completes that cycle and we see something totally different. As of right now, that is everything we know about iOS 14, and I'll keep you guys updated in the future. If you enjoyed this video or if you learned something new, drop a like down below and I'd really appreciate it. And of course, hit subscribe so you stay up to date on the latest. I've been Sam, hope you're doing well, and catch you guys in my fresh jean jacket later.